This lock, the customer wants me to make it work again because they were using a latch and it looks ugly. It was a big thing. It wasn't on a door like this, but it's another door after spray paint. And it's got a big slider latch on it. And he said, maybe we can get this one to work. But what happened is they painted it. And when they painted it, they painted the lock slider that goes on the key. So it's stuck there. The latch, so when you close the door, it still catches. It's still working. But the other part doesn't work, so he asked, can I fix it up? And all I have to do is take it to locksmith, and they can have keys cut for me. 3 keys normally is the order of the day. But what's happened here is, through the course of time, they've on the door also, this is the other problem they had. So what would happen is the thing would slide into a slot on the door, and then once you've got it in the door, you put you fasten it obviously with those 2 screw points there, and then what you do is you'd have a square pin like this, and this square pin through the handle that you normally find on the outside of the door would be what makes it possible for you to open the door. So you'd see only this handle and there'd be wood, and this thing would be slided into the side of the wood. What might happen is sometimes when you go to the door and you try and open the door and this thing comes off, it's because at the bottom there's a little screw there called a grub screw. It's a threaded little screw without a head, so it's flat little oblong little thing. And what you need to do is you need to lock that in place. So if this was now on the outside of the door, and unfortunately in some cases either the little grub screw gets messed up, or, and by the way, you need an Allen key, 6-sided Allen key that goes in the back there on the grub screw. And if you see the thread on this one looks good, which it does look good, then it might be the thread there. So what you do is you take the part out and you have to rethread with a thing called these are taps and dies. These are dies for cutting thread on bolts, and then you get the taps, which are these like long things with threads on. You get different sizes, and this looks like a 6mm thread in there. You can use a caliper or vernier to measure that, and then what happens is you've got to thread it again. You've got to put the handle on it, like in this case. Let's get it a bit bigger open. And then you just recut the thread because someone damaged or cross-threaded the little grub screw in there, and it's damaged the thread. So now I've got it to go all the way in, and just basically these things just recut the thread. So if you've messed up the thread there, you can fix it up, and if you've messed up the thread here, in this case it'll be very difficult to fix, but you can fix it up with a metric 6mm. Let's see, where's it? 6mm, yeah. And you'd put it in a tool like that, and then you'd fix the thread up on a bolted thing. But we've got the problem that the thread is messed up on the handle. So once you assemble the handle or the lock on the door, and you want to lock this, you can now put the grub screw back in and turn it all the way in, and it's going to lock. You see if I got it on. Going to slide it in. Basically that little pin locks onto one of these flat sides, on one of the 4 sides. You can put it in any way, that pin. Let me just slide it in. So now I've slid it in, and I'm going to lock it against that side so you can't get it to come out. So now it's locked in with an Allen key. And now what happens is, okay, I got it on the wrong side. I'll just show you how the mechanism works. Sorry. Basically it's the same thing. That would be the mechanism there, and it's spring loaded. So what happens is, you see it's stuck on there now. I can't get it off unless I loosen the Allen key. I mean the grub screw with the Allen key. And then what happens is the same goes for the other side. So this would be the other side of the door. So if you close the door and it was locked now and the person needs to come in from the other side, then you'd have this on the other side of the door, the handle, and it would have the same thing. It's normally at the bottom, so you don't see it on the top. And it would also have a grip screw. I don't have a grip screw there now, but that one was the problem. So that's how you fix up a messed up thread, basically with a tap. You can call it a tap. You can buy a tap and set like this at the hardware, and then you can fix many different threads. Wherever you've got a problem with the thread, you can fix it up, and that's how you get it to work. So now what I'll do is with this one, I'll just clean up the paint that's gone and made the slider mechanism stuck there. I'll clean it up, and we can repaint this if you want. We can just leave it in a nice finish by brush, polishing it off or cleaning it up. But that mechanism will work once I get the keys cut. So you don't need to buy a whole new mechanism, whole lock. You just have to buy the keys, really. Clean it up a bit. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button if you like the videos that I'm making. Thank you very much for watching.